nga ito. Kamay magbalo.
Banza kana kumaba sububaku. Banza no kambala.
Nawe.
The water is cool. Hello family, greetings to you all and welcome back to the channel. I'm your brother Chief Lamasheguyepasibulana, also known as Prince Ayoko, sending my peaceful and warmly greetings to you wherever you are. How are you doing and how is our families at your side doing? Alright, so welcome back to my farms here at the village. So in today's video I'm gonna share with you about how we do our weeding. So when I say weeding, when you plant corn, there will be weeds that will grow in the farms. So what we have to do is that we do the weeding manually. I have a lot of information to share about corn farming, and particularly corn farming. So please don't forget to subscribe to this channel and then click on the notifications bell so that you always get notifications when I post new videos. And don't forget to share my contents with your families and friends, and then give my videos a thumbs up. Okay, so let's get into business. Talking about farming, I was born and raised in a farming community. My father was a farmer and my mom was a trader and a farmer as well. So this is the whole thing about farming, particularly corn farming. You see, after the farm tractor plow the land, the next thing is the sowing of the seeds. After sowing the seeds, that is sowing the corn seeds, when it germinates, at least in about 2 months. When we planted this corn, that is exactly 2 months now. So now you can see that there are some weeds that grows in the farm. These are the corn, and then this is the weeds. So there's a difference between the wheat and the corn. So nowadays what people do is that they use weedicides. They use some chemicals to spray those weeds, which I don't agree with. I don't actually agree with that idea. The reason why I don't agree with that idea is because you see these weeds. You see the weeds, and you see how my brothers here are weeding it. When they weed it, and then the weeds got rot. After they do the weeding, when the weeds got rotten, it adds some nutrients to the soil and makes the soil fertile for the crops to grow very well, and for us to also have good yield. But then, like let's say for instance, if we spray these weeds for the chemicals to kill it, first of all, the chemicals that we use to spray it will be harmful to us, and it will be harmful to the soil as well. The reason why it will be harmful to us is because first of all, the chemicals that kills the weed is dangerous and harmful to us. That is our health. And moreover, when it kills the weed, it kills it completely. It doesn't make the weed have any nutrients, to the soil. So that is why I don't accept the idea of using chemicals to spray on our farms. That's not the best idea. And another reason why I prefer the weeding is because when I employ, like when you have a farm and you employ people to work on the farms, you see, you are creating jobs for people in the community, especially our brothers like this. They have gotten a job. They are here, weeding here. They are here working and making money. That is good thing. So we are planting for food and jobs. Yeah, so we are planting for food and jobs. We are not just planting for food alone, because my farms has been able to provide jobs for at least 4 of our brothers. They are weeding here, working on my farmlands, which is 7 acres of land. So that is a very good idea. And me myself, as a farmer, I always love to farm manually. So that is one thing that I have to share with you about corn. So once they do it this way, when it's time for harvest, inside the farms will be very clean. There will not be weeds that will worry it, and so on and so forth. Everything will be clear. And even when they weed it like this, it doesn't, whenever it is going to rain and there is some winds, it doesn't make the corn break. Because whilst they are working, they are making sure that they put enough soil, closer to the roots of the corn. So that is how they do. You see how he's doing. So when they farm, all the soil that they add here, makes it more strong. It makes the corn more strong and adds some more nutrients into the soil. So keep watching and don't forget to share this content, okay? So hopefully in the next 3 months, this corn will be ready for harvest. In the next 3 months, my corn will be ready for harvest. So I'm so happy about that, and I'm so glad about that. And I'm gonna show you the places that they've already did the weeding. So I'm gonna show you the main reason why I've come here to do this video. So as you can see, when they weed, you see how the weed is. You see it has started to rot. So when the weed got rotten, this is pure organic manure. You see how the weed is. So when the weeds got rotten, it turns into compost. You understand? So it turns into some kind of organic compost, and it adds some nutrients to the plants. So especially when they weed it like this and it rains the next day, it makes the weeds rot fast, and that makes us have organic manure in the farms. So it is very important for us to share these contents, especially to we those who are on YouTube, to we those who have these YouTube channels and share information about so many things. It is very important for me to always share this with you. Farming is so good. Farming is very, very good and very important. And I encourage my fellow Ghanaian youth and youth all over the world, especially to each and everyone, who is capable of working. I encourage each and every youth, each and everyone who can get into agriculture to get into agriculture. We have to farm what we eat. We don't have to always depend on other people for survival or for food. We have to really farm what we eat. When we farm what we eat, we can be able to know the condition of our health status. When we farm what we eat, we'll be able to eat healthy food. When we farm what we eat, we'll be able to live longer. When we farm what we eat, we'll be able to have self-sufficient life. When we farm what we eat, we can always have food in stock without going to the stores or the supermarkets or whatever to buy food. When we farm what we eat, and there's any kind of pandemic or any kind of disaster, we will still have food in stock. So these are the reasons why we have to farm what we eat. So, and therefore it is very important for us to farm what we eat. Very, very important. When I plowed this land, it was just like some 2 months ago. Now look at the corn. You can see that the corn is coming along very well. So now I have no doubts that in the next 3 months I will have food in stock that can feed over 100 people for a year. This farmland that I have, when I harvest my crops, it will be able to feed over 100 people for more than a year, because the food itself is enough to do that job. So it's very, very important. As you can see, it's a very big farmland. Very, very big farmland, and the crops is growing very well. Our only prayers is that we need rainfall, so help us with prayers. We need your prayers. You know, it doesn't rain here so much, so the plants is even supposed to grow much more than this, but because there's no enough rainfall, that is why we are not having, that's why these plants is not growing faster. But thank God, so far so good. When I see it, I'm so happy about it. I am so happy about it. Everything is coming along very nicely. And this is very surprising. Back at home at my very beautiful project, that is Queen's Guest Palace, I have this plant there. It is called mother-in-law tank. It is called the mother-in-law tank. And when I come to this farm, I saw the same plant, which is a little bit different, and I'm so surprised. It's a wild plant. I never know that the mother-in-law tank is a wild plant. You can see it. So the next time when I come here, I'm gonna have a couple of them. I'm just gonna dig a couple of them out and then go home and plant them. There's a lot of it here, the mother-in-law tank. So I'm so happy to find it at my farmland. Very nice plants. Yeah, the mother-in-law tank is a very nice plant. And always when I'm at farm, I always like the noise of the birds. You know, you can hear the sound of the birds. It is so soothing. Their voice is so soothing. I'm so happy, family. I'm so happy. I'm very, very, very glad and happy to have all of these plants as a young chief, as a young prince, and as a young man. I'm so happy that I've been able to have all of these plants. I think these are the plants that we have to be having. If we have this kind of plants, I don't think we'll have any problem with regards to our living. Though we know farming involves money, but then it also involves hard work and good planning. When you have money and you don't have the plan, I don't think you can have this kind of investments. So to people who are investors, who wants to go into farming, who wants to go into either corn farming or wants to go into you know, peanut farming, that is groundnut farming, soya beans farming, rice farming, I mean, any kind of farming. Because the crops that we farm here is groundnut, that is peanuts, corn, millet, sorghum, cassava, yam, sweet potatoes. We also have cowpea, and we have so many varieties of different kinds of cereals that we have. I mean, we plant here. So so far so good. We are here to visit the farm, and thank God everything is coming along very nice, and so much progress is going on here. I'm so happy about that. Yeah. Yeah, so that is it. I'm gonna go and get me some sinsaba. I'm talking about the red grapes that we have here, the red grapes. And then I'm also gonna go get me some share nuts fruits to eat. So I'm gonna go have some share fruits to eat. You know, share nuts, that's what we get our share butter from. So I have a lot of things to share with you today, but in the meantime, as you can see, everything is coming along very, 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 very nicely. The farm is big. So we also planted this farmland here, and it's a 2-acre farmland that we added to the 7 acres. That is Brother Eddie's farmland. But unfortunately, because there's no enough rainfall, the plants couldn't germinate. So we are waiting for the rain to fall so that we'll do the replanting. We'll replant it again. So that's one thing about farming. One thing about farming is that you have to really take a risk. Sometimes you have to take a risk. When you fear to take a risk, you can't invest into agriculture. So always be ready to take a risk when you are getting, you know, into agriculture, or when you are planning to invest into agriculture. All the monies that we use to buy the seeds has gone wasted. We have to, you know, plant again. So that's one thing about farming. So if you don't know much about farming and this happens to you as a new farmer, you'll be worried. Yeah, you'll be worried. But as we are always into farming, we are not worried when it happens like this. We take it easy. It's cool. And then, you know, just go ahead and do it again. There's no harm in trying. Yeah, so that is it. We are there, just planting for food and jobs. Yeah, this is the real farming. You know, this is what I'm showing you is the real farming. That is, you know, what real farming is. Just go to the farmlands, you know, let the farm tractor plow your land, plant your crops, and then, you know, just start your farming. This is the real farming. Though there are some people who are also at home, you know, doing some small farming. But, you know, This is the real deal and the real business.
Ya tuko. Nakwa. Yeah. Abin hudawa. Abin magana.
The water is cool. What are you doing?
I'm grinding.
Eh?
I'm grinding soya.
What are you doing?
I say I'm grinding the soya, so I want the thing to make clear.
Eh?
The more we are at the commode.
The more.
The more.
It is called weeds. Weeds. Weeds.
Weeds.
Weeds. Kaka, he is the most funniest man on earth. He said they are grinding the soil.
Yes.
You are grinding the soil.
Soil. Yes. To let the kawana come out.
To let the kawana come out.
Yes.
You know.
Or corn.
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 Yes. Yes.
Corn.
It's maize.
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 So we want the maize to come out.
You will say we want the maize to grow well.
Yes.
So that's why you are grinding the soil.
The soil.
Yes. Cooling is the water.
The water is cool.
Therefore. Yes, that's work and happiness. These men are very, very hard working. This is an indigenous way of farming in northern Ghana. In our local language, that is the Dabani language, the tool they are using to weed is called kule, and in English it is called hoe, H-O-E, hoe. And some people call it number 7 because it looks like the number 7. Yeah.
No. Mon volontaire qu'on a bien tampon. C'est non vous. Non. Ai, là. Baba jare. Mo o yum pul kan jola su mo nung ma kan ka tere. Muki mashara ku bage. Na. O jarmino miteu, wuli hazama mino mitu ko pa. Fo na wozo. O jar korpam. O korpam. Pena saya memang bawa pena pun na wozo ka. Jara masa. Mas I think it's my something now.
Cooling is the water.
What is cool? That is couple of euros or never.
All right, family, this is where I'm gonna end today's video. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for coming to support, and thank you so much for watching. I truly and really appreciate you all. I wish each and every one of you a very productive weekends, and a very happy weekends. And I also pray that the Almighty God and our ancestors will continue to grant us abundance of protection, abundance of wisdom, abundance of knowledge, abundance of good health and prosperity, and above all, abundance of patience. Till we meet again, it's your brother, Chief Lamashewuyapal Sewulana, also known as Prince Ayoko, sending my peaceful and warmly greetings to you all once again. And please don't stop to push through. Never give up in life. Always try to push through in life. All your dreams is gonna come to reality. As you can see, the farms is doing very well, and it all involves a lot of hard work. Like I told you, one thing that I always do is that I never give up in whatever I do in life. I always do my possible best to get the good results that you see. And that is one thing about life. These are the things that we have to share. And there's one thing again that I'm gonna share with my fellow farmers, that is crop farmers. Please, the use of agrochemicals is killing our land. Spraying all of this our lands with this weedicides, with this insecticides, and all of this, the use of these agrochemicals and the use of this artificial fertilizers is actually killing our land and causing harm to us. So we should go back to the indigenous way of farming. That is, when you farm, you have to use your hoe to weed, or even if it takes you to employ some people to weed for you, that is also a good option, because you provide employment for people, and you also create jobs. So that is why I say planting for food and jobs. We have to really think about this and then work it out. We have to also embrace agriculture. As you can all see how the world is going on, the world is just going crazy and crazy and crazy each and every day. The food that we eat is killing us each and every day, is spoiling our health, and it's just making us look so bad in the system. It doesn't work or go well with our system. All of these artificial fertilizers, all of these agrochemicals and so on, is causing so much harm into our system and our health. So we should go back to the indigenous way of farming. That was how our ancestors were farming, and look at how they were living long. Up to date, we are having some people who live up to like 150, over 100 years. You see, those are people of the days that are still living. But now just look at how we grow. When somebody grows up to like 50, 60, 70 years, when you see them, you think like they are like 90 or 100 years. All of this is due to the chemicals that we eat into our system. So my fellow farmers, that's my advice for you all. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your time. When you have any question, you can leave that question on the comment section. And when you have any idea that you want to share, you can share it on the comment section. So don't forget to share this content with your families and friends, and give my videos a thumbs up. Enjoy the rest of your weekends. I love you and I appreciate you all. One love, keep going.